Hello and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I'm Benga Aborowa with the news on the hour. Nigeria's Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, Audu Ogbe, has disclosed that the federal government is prepared to shut down the land border between Nigeria and the neighboring country in a matter of days. Audu Ogbe made this revelation in Abuja this morning while interacting with youths in a leadership seminar organized by the group known as Guardians of the Nation International. Although the minister did not disclose the specific country or border, he noted that the move is connected to the smuggling of foreign rice into the country and the need to encourage local production and sustain Nigeria's economy. According to him, states like Anambra, Ebonyi, Kebbi, Kano and Jigawa are making progress in rice production, and the federal government has reduced importation by 95% by increasing the number of rice farmers from 5 million to 35 million in 2 years. The People's Democratic Party spokesperson, Kola Ologbondiyan, has denied claims that nomination forms for presidential aspirants in the party cost 12 million naira. Kola Ologbondiyan, who spoke with Plus TV Africa's correspondent Mary Chinda, says such reports could only have been propagated by the opposition party to discredit the PDP. Mary Chinda gives those details in this report.
The weekend was awash with a lot of stories, from the Rivers State local government election to a more disturbing document allegedly released by the People's Democratic Party, stating that the party has settled for 12 million naira as cost of its expression of interest and presidential nomination forms. The party's spokesperson, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, in a phone interview with Plus TV Africa, states the party's position.
Well, the party has denied that report outright. As a spokesperson of the party, I can clearly tell you, I'm not aware that the document deadline has been released. I do not know where the newspaper that published the report got the information from, but truly the party, that's strange to us.
Okay. So the report also says that the PDP has pegged the age for its presidential aspirant to be 40 years. Now, this is against the backdrop of the president signing the Not Too Young to Run bill into law, which your party claims a credit for.
That would be totally incorrect to say that we have pegged the age of presidential aspirants as 40. The People's Democratic Party is largely responsible for the Not Too Young to Run Act as signed into by the president. And as such, the party will not take another turn to now increase the age or to now have the age from 35 to 40. That's not correct. You see, don't forget the fact that the People's Democratic Party today is a rallying point for majority of Nigerians and the political class. And the functional AP, or Progressive Congress, APC, will do everything possible to discredit the People's Democratic Party, in spite of the fact that every attempt to get the party to discredit the past has failed. So I want to assure Nigerians that the age limit set by the statutes and laws of this regulation is what the People's Democratic Party will abide with.
Okay. Over the weekend on Sunday, human rights lawyer Femi Falana had expressed his displeasure over what he describes as the commercialization of nomination forms by parties. He has described this as totally unconstitutional. What exactly is the party's take on this?
Well, I truly don't know what Mr. Falana considered as commercialization. Until he made that very clear to us, it will be difficult to respond to him. But within the People's Democratic Party, I can assure you that the nomination fee for our party will be such that every aspirant that seeks to run for any of the offices will be able to pay for.
Among those who have declared their intention to run for presidency on the platform of the People's Democratic Party are a former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, former Kano State Governor, Ibrahim Shekarau, Governor of Gombe State, Ibrahim Dankwambo, Governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, and former Minister of Special Duties, Tinimu Turaki Unconfirmed reports state that a few members of the All Progressives Party made defect to the former ruling party to vie for its presidential ticket.
The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has recommended harsher punishments for drug counterfeiters to serve as deterrent to others. Professor Moji Adeyeye, the Director General of NAFDAC, made the request today in Abuja as she addressed journalists. According to her, the agency has presented a bill to the National Assembly demanding tougher penalties for those involved in the illicit fake drugs trade. The Director General observed that a judgment of 2 months or 2 years imprisonment is not enough compared to the level of offense committed and the number of lives affected negatively by the crime. A huge fire at the Azare main market in Bauchi State has destroyed over 100 shops. Witnesses report that the blaze started around midnight and the fire service arrived late to the scene. Spokesman to the Bauchi State government, Umar Ibrahim, attributed delays to putting out the fire due to poor access to the market's nooks and crannies. Goods ranging from textiles to foodstuffs have been destroyed in the fire. The cause of the fire is currently unknown. We brought you news this morning that Abdurrahman Jameta, Chief of Staff to Adamawa State Governor Mohammed Jibrila, has died in the early hours of today. News reaching us say he will be buried in the holy city of Makkah in Saudi Arabia. State Commissioner of Information Ahmed Sajo confirmed the incident, said Mr. Jameta's family had decided that the burial rites will take place in Saudi in line with Islamic injunctions. Governor Jibrila declared a 3-day mourning period across the state, calling on all members of the state to pray for the peaceful repose of the late Jameta. The governor also used the opportunity to admonish Adamawa State workers to be more committed to the development and progress of the state, as this was something the late Chief of Staff stood for with over 30 years in public service. Mr. Abdurrahman Jameta is survived by an aged father, 1 wife and 11 children. And on the foreign scene, a member of the German parliament, Kai Whittaker, has hinted that Chancellor Angela Merkel may be ousted next week as the country's chancellor if disagreements with parliament over European Union migration policies continue to degenerate. According to German Member of Parliament Kai Whittaker, the conflict between Merkel and the country's Interior Minister, Horst Seehofer, may call for a new political situation in Germany by next week. Recall that Merkel's coalition party, the Christian Socialist Union, whose chairman is the Interior Minister, is against her stance on migration. The party wants German police to prevent refugees who already registered as asylum seekers in other European countries from entering Germany. However, Chancellor Merkel blocked the proposal last week, an action which resulted in a rift with Mr. Seehofer, who is also the chairman of the CSU. While CSU MPs declared they will support their leader, Seehofer, Merkel held emergency talks with members of a party to get their support. Of the 630 migrants saved by Médecins Sans Frontières, many Nigerians, including children, were on board the ship Aquarius, and 2 other ships allowed to dock in Valencia, Spain on Sunday, a week after they were refused entry by Italy. The specific number of Nigerians has not yet been given, but Nigerians, Sudanese, Eritreans and Algerians had the largest number of the 31 nationalities rescued from the Mediterranean Sea. The ships shared out the passengers for safer travel over 700 nautical miles. Dattilo, the largest ship owned by Italian Coast Guard, transported 274 people. Orione, a military frigate with 250 people, and the Aquarius had 106. MSF head of emergencies, Carlen Kleijer, recounted the ordeal by the migrants, thanking Spain for stepping in to help and slamming Italy for failing in humanitarian responsibilities by closing their ports on the 630 rescued migrants. An environmental disaster looms in Libya, which has led to the country's National Oil Corporation to issue a warning. This comes as 2 huge storage tanks set ablaze during fighting between loyal forces to General Khalifa Haftar, and a rival group continue to burn at the eastern port city of Ras Lanuf. The corporation is seeking the immediate withdrawal of forces opposed to the Libyan military strongman Haftar, whose army controlled the oil-producing region since 2016, which is crucial to the country's economy. According to the Libyan Red Crescent, Petroleum Facilities Guard, a rival militia group, began the attack on Thursday that left at least 28 people dead. And in business, oil prices fell on Monday and pulled down by an expectation that the cartel of oil-producing countries, OPEC, and its allies would increase supplies. Brent crude futures, the international benchmark for oil prices, were at $73.05 per barrel as at 36 hours GMT this morning, down 39 cents or 0.5% from the last close. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $64.24 a barrel, down 82 cents or 1.3% from their last settlement. The drops came after crude futures fell around 3% on Friday. Hurt by concerns about rising output and the U.S.-China trade war, the producer cartel of OPEC, which is de facto led by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and some allies, including Russia, have been withholding output since the start of 2017. Producers will meet in Vienna on June 22nd to decide forward production policy. Also looming over the markets is a threat by China to impose a levy on the United States oil imports in response to announcements by Washington of new import sanctions on China in what many analysts say could be a serious trade standoff between the world's biggest two economies. Bayelsa State's Deputy Governor, Borigboha Jonah, has called on Shell's Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, to carry out an integrity test on its pipeline in the Niger Delta region. Jonah criticized the frequency of oil spillages, pointing out that a good number of SPDC pipes were laid a long time ago and may have succumbed to corrosion. The Deputy Governor made this observation during an on-the-spot assessment of the extent of damage at one of the spillage sites in Ekerema local government area of the state. He berated SPDC for the delay in providing relief materials to mitigate the sufferings of the people in the affected communities. He also advised SPDC to ensure that all of the relevant parties were involved in the joint investigation exercise to ascertain the cause of the spillage. Virgin Money has been acquired by CYBG, the parent company of Clydesdale and Yorkshire Bank, in a £1.7 billion deal. Virgin Money, which takes pride in its mode of service delivery and its ability to have been the first in the UK to offer investment products directly to consumers, is positive of the outcome of this deal. David Duffy, the CEO of CYBG, says the merger could become the first true national competitor to the status quo in the United Kingdom. It will also become UK's sixth largest bank. However, it is expected that about 1,500 jobs will be lost as a result of the merger. The leadership of CYBG will remain unchanged, with David Duffy remaining as CEO of CYBG, Ian Smith as the CFO of CYBG, and CEO of Virgin Money, Jane Ann Gardier, will serve as a senior advisor to the CEO for some time. Up next is entertainment news with Tokumbo.
In entertainment, Ghanaian actress who has been causing quite a buzz on social media, Rosamund Brown, after her interview on The Delay Show, revealed she has slept with 24 veteran actors. The popular actress also revealed she had had her first sugar daddy at the age of 16, narrating the story of how a man saw her on the road after she got kicked out of school for her inability to pay her school fees. She said he took her home, gave her money, and sent her back to school, and didn't have sex with her until she was 16. These revelations have caused quite a stir, as most of her fans are backlashing her and some just are proud that she's real and honest. Remember Skibi, the five-star music actor who disclosed he was leaving the record label last year, and many were scared for him, wondering how he was going to survive alone as the record label seemed like his backbone. Contrary to this general belief, Skibi points fingers at five-star music for being broke. Skibi spoke to a media agency this Sunday, June 17, 2018, revealing ever since he left five-star music, he has become a better person and a better musician. He further disclosed that under the record label, he couldn't do a lot of things on his own, such as shooting a music video or taking responsibility for his family, as he was a boy who shared his percentages with them. He further disclosed that he has been doing other things which have stalled his music, but promises to dish out 4 songs before the year runs out. Never bite the finger that feeds you, Nigerians tell John Dumelo. John Dumelo gained fame after he starred in Nollywood movies before he even got recognized in his home country, Ghana. John Dumelo took to Twitter on Saturday after the Super Eagles match against Croatia, in which the Super Eagles conceded 2 goals without scoring a single goal in the World Cup opening match. John, in his tweet, listed countries that didn't qualify for the World Cup, referring to them as great countries such as Italy, USA, Ghana, the Netherlands, saying it is better not to qualify than to be scored 2 goals in the first game. Wrong move, John, says Nigerians, as they have dragged him left, right, centre on Twitter. And that's it on entertainment. Up next is the sports news.
Ex-Super Eagles defender Mobi Okparaku wants a change in the approach of the head coach Kenneth Rohr and the technical team if the national team is to make the desired impact at the ongoing World Cup. Okparaku, who is the boss of Nigerian Premier League side Heartland FC, wants the Eagles handlers to work on the midfield and the attacking departments of the team ahead of their remaining Group D fixtures against Iceland and Argentina. Okparaku said the midfield and the attack of the Super Eagles is weak and he would want them to do better. Croatia currently tops the group with 3 points after defeating Nigeria by 2-0. And coach of 5-time champions Brazil, Tite, has expressed his disappointment following the side's 1-1 draw in the Group E opening fixture against Switzerland on Sunday at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Philippe Coutinho put Brazil in the lead in the 28th minute, courtesy of a straight-back finish from outside the box. But the Brazilians were denied all 3 points when Stefan Zuber headed the ball in from a corner kick to level the scores. Tite had refused to blame his side's marking for the goal conceded. The next task for Brazil will be to get all 3 points against Costa Rica on Friday. And that's it on the news at the hour. I'm Benga Borowa. Do have a great day.